Episode 6. The Cold War Spy, Chessboards and Betrayals. The war was over, but the world didn't breathe easy. Instead, it exhaled into paranoia. Two superpowers, nuclear tension, and a new kind of warfare, fought not with bombs, but with briefcases, ciphers, and shadows. Welcome to Lies, Spies, and Plot Twists. This is Episode 6. The Cold War Spy, Chessboards and Betrayals. The Cold War turned the world into a chessboard, and spies were the pawns, and sometimes the kings. This was the golden age of spy versus spy fiction. Not loud, not flashy, just whispers in alleys, phone calls cut short, smiles that didn't quite reach the eyes. John le Carré defined the era. A former British intelligence officer himself, he brought disillusionment and realism to spy fiction. His breakout novel, The Spy Who Came In From the Cold, 1963, turned the genre upside down. Gone were the suave playboys. In their place, Alec Leamas, a weary British agent playing a long game behind the Iron Curtain, only to discover that betrayal doesn't come from enemies. It comes from your own side. Le Carré's world was murky, grey, bureaucratic, and tragically believable. The public began hearing about real betrayals. The Cambridge Five, Philby, Burgess, Maclean, Blunt, and Cairncross had infiltrated British intelligence for the Soviets. Educated, trusted, and entirely compromised. These weren't just news stories. They were living, breathing thrillers, ones that inspired entire novels. Len Deighton's The Ipcress File introduced Harry Palmer, a glasses-wearing working-class spy who didn't play the gentleman game. Palmer's Cold War wasn't glamorous. It was manipulative, tense, and paper-piled. Meanwhile, in America, Robert Ludlum began weaving global paranoia into blockbusters like The Bourne Identity, where amnesia and identity became metaphors for national anxiety. Spy novels became reflections of a divided world. Berlin Wall, Cuba, Vietnam, KGB, CIA, Stasi. The lines between fact and fiction blurred. In le Carré's Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, George Smiley must uncover a mole deep inside British intelligence. The novel mirrored the real fear of infiltration and painted the spy game as cold, slow, and brutal. Smiley wasn't Bond. He was brilliant, broken, and boring in the most dangerous way. It wasn't just about stopping the bad guys anymore. It was about figuring out if you were the bad guy. Spy fiction had matured, deeply. It explored trust, ideology, and moral erosion. As the genre widened, so did its cast. Female spies entered the frame, though still underrepresented. But authors like Stella Rimington, the former MI5 Director General, began publishing authentic, intelligent spy thrillers with female leads like Liz Carlyle. And behind the fiction, real-life women like Virginia Hall and Melita Norwood had already shown that espionage was never just a man's game. The Cold War gave us more than just great spy novels. It gave us ethics in conflict. It gave us stories about people who stared into the abyss and sometimes blinked. Coming up next in Lies, Spies, and Plot Twists, the Cold War ends, but the secrets, they evolve. In Episode 7, we step into the modern age, post-September 11th, surveillance states, cyber espionage, and the new thriller. Spies have gone digital, but trust me, the betrayals are still very human.